Greetings and salutations in Jesus' name. Today I'd like to talk to you about a couple chapters in Nehemiah and how it relates to the things that I've spoken on in previous videos. So let's begin at Nehemiah chapter 1, and we'll do some reading in chapter 2 as well. Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 1 and 2 and 3. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hachaliah, and it came to pass in the month of Chislev, in the 20th year, as I was in Shushan, the palace, that Hanani, one of my brethren, came, he and certain men of Judah. And I asked them concerning the Jews that had escaped, which were left of the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. And they said to me, the remnant that are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. Verse 4. And it came to pass when I heard these words that I sat down and wept and mourned certain days and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. Now he goes on to confess the sins of himself, his family, and his extended family, i.e. the house of Judah and Israel. Confessing their sins and talking about the justice of God in punishing them because of their sinful ways. But he also asks God and beseeches God to enable him and bring opportunity and to give him a special blessing in the sense of talking to the king of Persia so that he would hear him and listen to him, that he would be given special grace by the king of Persia. And as you know, if you read anything, have ever read Nehemiah, he was the cupbearer to the king. Now, let's go to chapter 2 of Nehemiah. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine, and gave it unto the king. Now, I had not been beforetime sad in his presence. Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is thy countenance, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of the heart. Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, Let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad when the city, the place of my father's sepulchre, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? And if you remember, Babylon had destroyed, I should have probably talked about that in the first part, destroyed Jerusalem as part of the judgment of God. They had suffered a couple invasions because of their sinfulness and their king's sinfulness and rebellion, absolute rebellion against God and the king of Babylon. So he left it finally in a great disrepair, burned the walls, the entire city, the temple, destroyed the temple, and left it in basically a big old heap. Now, people had gone back to Jerusalem as a dispensation by God to begin the work, but they were of rebuilding Jerusalem and Judah. But it was they were having a very difficult time. So the king then continues on. The king said unto me, For what dost thou make request? So everybody that believes that a quick prayer, okay, when you pray, you're supposed to, close your eyes and spend a great deal of time. Yes, obviously, Nehemiah, in the rest of that chapter, rest of chapter 1, he spent a lot of time praying and fasting. If you remember, it was the month of Chislev, and he is now in the month of Nisan. So there's been a little bit of time between the two this periods of time here. Same year, but a period of time between the two. So he had spent a bit of time praying. So when the king makes this questions Nehemiah does a quick prayer in his heart and in his mind to God. He doesn't outwardly pray, but he's beseeching God quickly and in his mind and heart for God to give him special strength and courage and boldness to make his petition. So continuing on at verse 5. And I said unto the king, well, let me back up and reread forward. Then the king said unto me, for what dost thou make request? So I prayed to the God of heaven, a quick prayer in his mind and heart. And I said unto the king, if it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldst send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it. In his mind and heart, he had a mission to rebuild the gates, the city, the walls of Jerusalem, to secure it from all enemies outside of Jerusalem. You could say from all enemies, foreign and domestic, because we can read on in Nehemiah that honestly, some of his own people were his own worst enemies. They were his worst enemies because they were traitorous people. They were telling him what was going on, telling the enemies of the Israelites, the people of Judah and Jerusalem, what the plans were. So let us continue on. And the king, verse 6, and the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, for how long shall thy journey be, and when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. So this is my plan. This is the time I think it's going to take. Moreover, I said unto the king, if it please the king, let letters be given to me to the governors beyond the river, that they may convey me over till I come into Judah. And a letter unto Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace, which appertained to the house, and for that wall of the city, and for the house that I shall enter into. And the king granted me according to the good hand of my God upon me. So he's given permission. He's given papers, letters to basically the backing of the king to make the purchase, to make the acquisition of materials that were needed for the walls, the gates, the house that he was going to build, and other buildings that he was going to need. So, verse 9, continuing on. Then I came to the governors beyond the river, and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the army and horsemen with me. So he had an armed guard. He had troops with him, bodyguards and men to help persuade the powers that be that he was the man in charge, and they needed to listen to him. When Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant of the the Amorite, heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly that there was come a man to seek the welfare of the children of Israel. So I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. Verse 12, I arose in the night, I and some few men with me. Neither told I any man what my God had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem, neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode. I went out by night by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon well, to the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and the gates thereof consumed with fire. Then I went to the gate of the fountain, and to the king's pool, and there was no place for the beast that was under me to pass. Then I went up in the night by the brook, and viewed the wall, and turned back, and entered by the gate of the valley, and so returned. And the rulers knew not whither I went. And it's not Sanballat or Tobiah. He's talking about the rulers of the people of Jerusalem and the surrounding area of the quote-unquote Jews, Israelites, the people of Judah. And the rulers knew not whither I went or what I did. Neither had I as yet told it to the Jews, nor to the priests, nor to the nobles, nor to the rulers, nor to the rest that did the work. Then I said unto them, Ye see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lieth waste, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. Come, let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. Then I told them of the hand of my God, which was good upon me, as also the king's words that he had spoken unto me. And they said, Let us rise and build. So they strengthened their hands for this good work. Men, I have laid out before you the thing that God has put in my heart, to build cities of light and refuge. There have been prophecies about this in the 90s, about there being cities of light in the United States. Men of God, believers in Jesus Christ, you men, we need to build cities of light and refuge now. We need to start we need to be about the Father's business now. I'm talking and beseeching to you on YouTube. I'm talking to people on the job site. I've been in 3 different places. My home city and state, talking to people there. In 2 other states. I'm in currently the 3rd state, so to speak, not including the state that I live in. Trying to talk about the gospel of Jesus Christ and about this mission that God has put in my heart. Men of God, believe upon the Lord Jesus Christ. This is about saving souls and saving lives. We have time to build this while the times are quote unquote good. For the times are going to be extremely difficult coming soon. Think about what happened with the vid that came through and how all the nations of the world acted in concert. They were all in agreement against their own people. They were against believers in Jesus Christ. Look at how many pastors shut down and were in obedience to their governments, and instead of obedience to God, they did not stand for Jesus Christ, and they shut down their services. Cities across the world were basically shut down. Manufacturing and production was shut down around the world. Are you going to be obedient to Jesus Christ and help me build cities of light and refuge? At minimum, one in each of the 50 states of these United States. Lord willing, in each country around the world. Men of God, are you going to stand for Jesus Christ and stand and build? Let us build that, like Nehemiah. He stood, he believed, he cared. Do you care for your fellow believers? Do you care for the lost? Do you care for the lost? And are you willing to stand, help build cities where the light of Jesus Christ is being lifted up? Are you going to be a light? Let us build these cities of light and refuge that people can flee unto. Because there's evil all over the world. Let us build cities of light and refuge. Be a light. Be a point of refuge unto those that are around you. Be bold, be strong, for the Lord our God is with us. I leave you with these three things. Love God, obey Him, and remain faithful to Him. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. Gentlemen, fear the Lord.